What's up, guys? Happy September. I love September. My birthday month. Also one of the hardest months of the stock market. Give it a few minutes. But how y'all doing? Make sure you guys hit that like button. Subscribe. All the good stuff. Little news, if you guys are interested in flow, Black Box Stocks has the first month for $1. So if you ever wanted to be interested in flow, first month $1. Of course, it auto pays. You know, you're set up for auto renew for the following, so you just gotta remember to cancel before you get charged $100 for the next month. But 30 days for $1, that's a killer deal. I signed up, so definitely gonna check it out. Also, economic calendar. Jobless claims 8:30, which should be pretty good. You know, I think a lot of it's waiting on tomorrow, which is the unemployment rate. We have construction month over month, manufacturing at 10. So we do have 10 o'clock stuff tomorrow. We have payrolls, unemployment rate, capital goods, durable goods, factory orders. So, and then next week, I'm pretty sure. Remember, next week we have Monday off. And then I'm pretty sure the CPI is that week or the following week. Yes, and as IWM still, I'm pretty sure IWM is still going down. See, that was my PT on RTY. We were up here. Yeah, IWM right here, 185. We're at 182 right now. Pretty solid play. But oil, oh yeah, oil. Posted oil on my Twitter. Fortunately, I had a lot of errands to run. I don't like in the morning. I gave you guys. I alerted about Microsoft. I alerted about Apple. Those two bounces right off those dark pools are pretty spot on. First thing, told you guys to watch those. Right off the bat, look at this beautiful dark pool right here. Microsoft, I said, Microsoft, I really, really wanted to get into Microsoft, but I told myself I wasn't going to get into anything. What's up, Brad? Wasn't going to get into anything before I had to leave because I thought I had to start getting ready like 9:45. I didn't really get started ready until 10. But Microsoft was a pretty solid move. Also, tweeted about oil, showed you about oil. You got to look at your former resistances turn supports. And we had this like 91 area was a resistance. We broke above here, tested it, started squeezing up, pretty good move up. We came back down, touched it, even went up stronger, came back down, touched it again, and then we finally broke through. And then I said, let's see if it's going to hold as a resistance. And it did. It was a good $2 move. I did 8 contracts on my sim count. I was like $16,000. But you know, holding as a resistance. So, you know, if we pop up, definitely watch that 91, hold that as a resistance and whatnot. But pretty solid plays. AMD, I'm kind of stuck on, but we'll go through what happened with AMD. But overall, pretty strong move down. We were way down on the overall market. Europe kind of pushed up. The news was with Nvidia, they're banning some sales to China or sending their chips to China, which caused a drop on semis, which, you know, AMD, Nvidia, Oracle, you know, all those semis. Usually when semis drop, the market drops. You tell just right after futures opened yesterday. 15, 16, 18 right here. We continue to drop. You go to Nvidia. Nvidia is just taking a hit. I don't know. To be honest, I don't think I love Nvidia AMD long term. But I mean, this big flag, we took puts right here when we broke out. These are probably gonna be like at 20. I think we bought them at like 1.5. What's up, Rowdy? You know, we bought 1.5. You can tell there's my PT. We had a gap. You know, just been getting bad news. It's 3 bad news on chips in 2 days. You know, Asia or Taiwan said that their demand was decreased by 20%. Then you have that one company saying they're going to miss by at least 20% on their guidance, and then Nvidia with their ban. So pretty bad move. I mean, if you look at AMD is just getting destroyed. Like AMD's run up, like they've already retraced. They're actually at that 0.618. Let's see what SPY's at. SPY's possibly there because SPY was a slow run up. 0.618 is 388. So AMD's a little bit weaker. But let's go ahead and rock some charts. Guys, hit that like button. That'd be appreciated. I know Brad did. But yes, you know, it is a month. You're going to see a little higher volume coming at open. Let's see how the previous gapped up. I mean, usually the first of the month, you have a pretty good volume. Move up. Down. No, they're back and forth. Green or red. Up. Because Brad, now I don't know. But Brad, you always, it's like guaranteed. It's probably behind the bed. Everything's behind the bed. But monthly candle, you know, if you're a stratter, main thing is I mean, basically the last 4 months are pretty balanced if you look at it. We got to spike up again, down, try spiking up, maybe continue down, go to the weekly. Yeah, Brad, we always make fun of stratters. I don't want to hate stratters because those are my people. But Just like watch list alerters. They're always right. But on the daily, I was doing this one-on-one. I said, you want to look for dojis. Right here was a perfect. Let's get rid of this bear flag because we're not gonna ever get back there. I don't think. Get rid of some of this. This doji right here was what I was waiting for yesterday to get back into. NQ actually did get back into it yesterday. Right here. That was the perfect time to go short. That was, I believe, right at open. Wow. I thought we pushed at open. Oh, the candle was back and forth at open. Then we sold off. Okay. So yeah, that push at open was a good time to go short. And you can tell, look at the result from that. But yes, kind of scatterbrained today. Sorry, guys. Yes, this candle right here from July 26th is pretty much holding us up. This is going to be one demand right here. Kind of didn't really have the best response from it when we first hit it. Yeah, we did. We had a nice little 450, nice bounce out of it. Boom. Could have, if I had that marked up. You did an interview. Yeah, I did. Yeah, you remember I did an interview with the strat. Just because the way I trade is basically the way they trade. It's price action. It's all price action. You let the chart, the candlesticks, you let the candlesticks go. But for them, like they play, they more like play the breakout. I like playing the pullback. That's kind of where we difference. What I think about September, I blew like 3 years ago. I blew 3 ports in September, so I don't like September. But honestly, that was before I even knew what options were, and I was just randomly like, I wish I could grab this information where I was grabbing calls, far out calls of DraftKings. And I was getting so down on those calls on DraftKings, I would call puts. And I was like, okay, well, if I'm losing on the calls, I'll make it back on the puts. And then they'd both go to zero just because of theta. And they're so way out of the money. It was before I even knew what was I even doing. It was pretty sad. That's why I you should definitely have some education before getting into it. But I just did what I felt like I did. But right here, but yeah, September is going to be tough. You got midterms coming up. I'm pretty sure VIX is going to stay elevated. There's no reason for VIX to go down. CPI data is going to be very, very, very important. Jobs data is very important tomorrow. Luckily for a week, my mom's in town and my wife goes to Florida for a weekend. So I'm on diaper duty for a little bit. I'm not going to be I might do pre-market. Just depends on what she has planned for me. Dude, I used to love DraftKings. I just remember this one time I was loaded on DraftKings calls, and then NBA went on strike or whatever and sat down. You did some shooting, where they all canceled games and DraftKings just dumped, and I was like, what? I was like, what are the odds? I was up 100% on 10 options, and then they had that, and I just lost it all. But I used to love DraftKings. DraftKings used to be, this stock used to be booming. It's so sad it's at $10. I remember one of their PT. Oh, look at this. Look at the old charting on this, okay? There's cup. We had a cup here with the handle. Not the best handle, but took that up. Look at how he used to chart. This is horrible. This is really old. I bet you it's not on this one. No, it is on that one. I want to chart on that one. Oh, here, hold on. I gotta switch to 4. chart on 4. Okay. So yeah, there's that cup. This is where I thought they're going to 100. That cup handle continuation up. And then I remember getting calls down here. I was like, DraftKings should not be worth $40. I'm like, that is horrible. Got calls when they came up here, pushed up, but they've just been destroyed. But let's go ahead and get back to important things. But you know, we kind of are back to retesting this area right here. Kind of our previous squeeze. You know, this was a former. I was able to grab it before. You know, former support became resistance. We broke above, held support, continue up, and we kind of are retesting it. I actually touched it almost perfect, but this line's kind of not the best. So we kind of are testing it right now. So let's see if we're going to hold it as support or we're just going to break below. And then, you know, like oil did, like I showed you guys with oil, break below, use it as resistance, continue down. Let's go ahead and look at our volume profile. I was like to pop this up from low, all-time lows to now. You can tell most of our volume came in here with this volume node. So we might have a strong time getting higher. And then we have decent volume down here. So we might be able to get back into some chop down here. But overall, you know, we have this daily candle on the 26th. You know, these are untouched demands. We have not touched any of these demands. The 1, 2, 3 demands in a row, of course. But of course, if our trend is down, you know, we might just blow through straight demands. For your latecomers, I'm gonna probably say this a couple times. Open like a new tab. If you guys are interested in flow, I know a lot of Discords out there have the trading ticks, but Black Box Stocks has their month for $1. This is good for dark pool. These have dark pools, like they have dark pools on the chart. If you ever use Black Box Stocks, I can pop it over here because I signed up. Go to SPY, display, or studies. Go to dark pool volume. Go to 5 minute. You can tell this is where our dark pools came in. So we had a decent sized dark pool come in yesterday at close, kind of at the low. So let's see if we're going to hold that as resistance today. You know, like Apple, or we'll go with Microsoft because Microsoft was a little easier. You can tell where that huge dark pool came in at close. The other day I was talking about it, tweeted to how it pushed it up. They probably sold most here. And you can tell it held as kind of a support bounce. But $1 a month, you know, they do auto renew, so you got to make sure you cancel before you get charged $90. But $1 a month, I'm not complaining about that at all. But we have 2 untested demands. Like I said, if we do, you know, like I said a couple weeks ago, if we do fall, we're gonna fall violently because on our way up we had pretty bad structure built. We had, go to SPY, we had a lot of gaps. And just a lot of pushes. You kind of want balance. Like this is a huge price imbalance. Like you kind of want to go up, but pull back, go up, pull back, go up, pull back. So it's kind of balanced. The market needs balance for just to be healthy. So you can tell we're starting to fill that back in. Do have a gap. Wait, I remember saying this was my bounce. I said that. I gotta look for that. said this fair value gap is going to probably where we bounce. No, we barely bounce. Okay. No, you bounce right here. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, we're making up. The main thing is to watch AMD and NVIDIA, you know, SMH, all those, all the semiconductors. See if the dip gets bought, or if they're just going to continue to sell off. But I mean, that's 3 bad news in a row. AMD's been getting clobbered, and I had my sell order. You know, we'll go through AMD when I get to it. I'll explain my thing. RJ, do you make a couple of feature alerts a day? I do. I'm gonna try to get some futures streaming going. I realized that my Mac does not have any memory. Like, it's got horrible memory to even stream. So I've ordered more. So once that comes in, I'll be able to get more streaming, higher quality streaming, and I'll be able to stream futures. But I go back and forth. I trade more futures, but I alert more options, because options are kind of just easier to alert. Futures, I mean, you could be up $400, and by the time I send that alert out, it's down $300. So it's kind of tough. Still new to alerting futures, but still working on it. But NQ, you know, NQ did retrace back up to that doji. Kind of same thing. We have this daily candle, we have this daily candle, and then not the best down here, but we might be able to come down. We did break our trend line, our uptrend, which is not good, but we are bouncing off that 12.1, which 12.1 was, you know, our kind of our launch pad area here. So main thing, you know, 12.1. Let's see if that's going to hold. You only trade futures. Yeah, I mean, I trade futures a lot, but it's like it's a lot of scalping. That's the hard part. Like, even options, I don't like to alert scalps. Just because by the time it comes out, you know, you're already lost and whatnot. But I'm working on how to do it. And try to figure out the best way to alert. Eventually, I want to go like more futures than options, and I'll probably just alert like QQQ and SPY based on those. That's my plan. My wife's gonna be switching shifts probably in October, possibly late October. She'll start working at 11:30. So technically, I could only trade on my computer till 10:30. So I'm gonna start waking up and trading the European market. I'll probably wake up, catch that European push, and that'll be a lot easier to alert. So I'll have some overnight alerts. You can tell here's a European session. I don't know why I have it gray. I'm gonna switch that back. Here's a European session. I'm gonna start trading this, possibly like wake up at 4, maybe 3. You know, pretty decent decent. I mean, it's a lot easier. But futures alerting is kind of just like a side thing I'm doing. I'm like, I consider myself still an options trader. But let's go ahead and rock. Get back into it. Apple was giving my was doing my one-on-one yesterday. I was like, you know, you always want to keep Apple. Always keep Apple up. Apple's weak. On the market's weak. You know, the last couple of days we've taken puts based off this 63, 64 previous resistance, previous support. You know, his resistance became support. We broke below resistance. We took a put. Rose resistance again. We took a put. We're starting to sell off. We're into a 3-day demand. Yeah, man, appreciate it. Right now we're bouncing from this 3-day demand to 3-day. I just push up, sideways, push up, sideways. You can tell we kind of bounced here for this previous one. So Apple could see a little support bounce, but you know, looks like the overall market is bouncing a little bit just because it's completely sold off. But main Apple, definitely want to see that kind of 150 area. Look to go long. It's really hard to look to go long right now because the market's just selling off. AMD. So AMD kind of probably going to take a loss on this. If we break below that 80.94, if we break below this demand, I'm getting out no matter what. But it was a toss up. So that AMD call, whoever's got that, it was a toss up between them, Meta, and Google. I almost went Google first. I was like, nah, Google's premiums are kind of crap. I was looking at Meta. And I was like, premiums are a little bit pumped. And AMD is good to go long. I tell people with smaller ports, you know, if you want to trade any stock, trade AMD and Apple because you could go weeks out for pretty cheap. And, you know, with small ports, you kind of need to go weeks out to kind of protect your downside. So I decided to go to AMD. And yesterday, you know, the plan was to sell it open because we were going to gap up. We gapped up, but of course, AMD had bad news. And basically, them in NVIDIA were the only red stock going in the open. So kind of sucked. And then at close, we averaged down. At close, I had my sell at 2.01. It hit 1.95. Gonna get out of it. So right now, you know, I'm probably gonna take a loss on it. I told myself the stock's gone up against me twice already. So, you know, usually if a stock goes against you twice, you just get out. But I'm definitely watching this demand here. Hopefully some dip buyers come in. You know, demand here, kind of former support, resistance. So kind of want to see what's going to happen there. Amazon, I haven't really looked at Amazon's down. Still going through this gap fill. If we ever get back down here, definitely looking for a long. And also watch where we kind of pumped on earnings. Kind of down here at 121. So I told people 126 was a good PT. People that were in puts. You tell we're kind of that 126, 127 area was a tough spot. You know, it was a former pivot right here. You know, resistance. Of course, we come back down. Possibly, you know, this could possibly be a support bounce. So keep Amazon on your watch. We could possibly get a support bounce. Or we're just going to fill back through that gap. Google filled the gap. Kind of like Google long term. You know, we're kind of hitting down here. I can't really see Google going underneath 100. Same with Amazon. I really can't see Amazon going underneath 100. But also said that about a lot of stocks, and they're just completely destroyed. Um, but Google looks pretty decent long term. Meta, Meta was nice. I posted on my Twitter, talked about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bounces from this area right now. Take the risk of it bouncing again. If we break below, you just kind of flip sides, grab puts. Pretty decent move up. I actually wanted to get puts right at open on Meta. Of course, I didn't due to those gameplays. But we had this. You can tell, look at this huge sell candle. So obviously, that's going to be our demand. How we kind of based here. This day was basically a sideways doji day. Sellers came in strong this day based on, I guess, some kind of, that was Friday. Yeah, that Friday where we sold off. So we came back up, touched it, even with the Snapchat news and Meta pumping pre-market. We hit that. We hit that supply and sold off. Let's go to ES for a second. Jobs. I gotta say the 8:30 first initial move was up, so it should be down. Initial claims were 232 for the week, minus 5,000. Jobless claims were down, so that's good. No, why not do this? So jobless claims are down, so more people are not claiming jobless claims. So it's good for subs. Yeah. So not the craziest move. Nothing to be concerned about. Yes, you always see with these 8:30 news to see how the market reacts to it. And open, you can tell VIX is going up a little bit. But Nvidia got a dark pool. Nvidia on the daily, the video is taking a major hit. It's almost back down to its lows, or the whole market bounced on this little rally. Nvidia way down. They got affected. Up below here, that 140.55 is going to be a big spot. Yeah, right here we bounced super strong here. And I'm surprised we didn't hold this. 145. Resistance. Support. But news always trumps everything. So Nvidia, main thing with Nvidia, I bet you we pop up at red open, possibly. Watch if dip buyers come in. That's the main thing. We're gonna have some possible dip buyers. If we do reverse up, I'm definitely watching yesterday's right there, 150.44. Yesterday we kind of, you tell yesterday's price action, it's pretty much sideways. So it's a good basing. Sellers came in. So come back up here. Our sellers are going to come in based on that news where they sold on the news. Possibly. Tesla. Talked about this. Didn't do the stream yesterday, but talked about this. Where we had. Still trying to figure out my best. I don't like these colors. But we were just ranging. I was like, wait for the break or the bounce. We kind of like broke below. You can tell this 280 area. We bounced support, broke below. Yesterday open was pretty much perfect resistance on it. Broke below. To see if we're gonna test it as resistance, but Tesla looks super, super weak lately. You guys go hit that like button. I appreciate it. Go look at futures again. Futures are dropping. So NQ is back down to almost 1% down. NQ, look at Doji. This was a good time to grab a put. So we dropped. We based here. Came back up. And then we dropped again. We came back up. Look at that. Dropped again. That's actually pretty good futures. Missed that one. Did we gap down? Yeah, we gapped down. 30-minute 45. So we are able to kind of rally. Definitely watching kind of lows yesterday. You tell, it's a nice support here, and we broke below. Let's see if we're going to continue the push up and use it as resistance. So if we're able to have a little rally, see if we're able to push back up. ES made the same one on the 30-minute. Yeah, we based there. I mean, it doesn't show. I like to have a green candle, but you obviously based. Yeah, right there. But for the latecomers, we are holding our previous kind of breakout. Look at this. 3,900 is probably gonna be a tough level of support. Broke below, resistance. Broke above, support. We rallied pretty strong, and we're back down there. Are we gonna hold this as a support? Single candle zones. I don't know what you mean on that. For me, supply and demand is basically sideways action, basing candle. You take it from the open, from the last green candle to the highs of those two candles. So this one right here, you can tell sellers came in at close. Well, this is a good example yesterday. You had drop, you kind of rally, there's 15-minute, you can tell pretty strong sell-off. Based, pretty strong sell-off. So we had a decent sell-off from this zone. Tell sellers came in yesterday at 39.85. Came back up here, dropped. But my zone is created from the open of the last basing candle to the top of either of these candles. So like this example would be here. And then what you always want to do is kind of break it down into a lower time frame and see where actually the sell came in. You can tell one sell came in here. So this could be a zone. And you can tell another sell came in here. So we kind of, this zone's pretty good. You have a drop, base, drop. You tell once we get back to it, or no, we didn't ever got back to it. So that's what I'm watching for today. See if we get back up to this kind of this double top. So like, you know, this could be a multiple right here. We had the gap down and we based. See how we based? And then you can tell sellers came in very, very strong. We based. Sellers came in very strong. So we have one there. You can tell what did we do when we hit that zone? We rejected. Then we have this base, you know, looking at this base, yeah, I would go this. If I pop up the 4 hour, you don't really, you know, it's not a buy candle. It's not a green candle. You pop up the 3 hour, you know, it's not, the next candle is not super strong selling, so it's not completely obvious. But that 2 hour, you know, the 2 hour, we kind of dropped base and then sellers came in very, very strong. What did we do at that Friday? Look at that Friday. Sellers came in again. I mean, we sold off. I mean, that's coincidence right there, but pretty decent. You know, we demand, there's no demands down here. Like we just have a slow chop up. Buyers didn't really come in very, very strong. You know, if we break it down to a lower time frame, you know, kind of looking at where do buyers come in strong here? I mean, possibly here. But look, we already touched it. If we already touched that demand, it's a very not strong, not high conviction demand. And look, we actually do have a little decent pop up from it. But then we sell off. So for me, it's not the best one. I love these untouched demands. You know, possibly you could tell, you know, right here, buyers came in here, but you know, we already touched it. Right here, buyers came in, we came down right here, bounced up. So yeah, I mean, that's how you yeah, I mean, do supply and demand. Like go to Apple. Yeah, Apple right here. On the daily, where do you think where did buyers come in very strong? Right here. I have this marked up. Huge buy candle. Okay. That gapped it up. Then right here we have kind of 3 days sideways. Huge candle. I mean, buyers came in pretty strong on this candle. Good 4% on Apple is pretty tough with its market cap. So, and it's a doji, and we gapped up. Okay, doji. So we have demands. You're looking for buyers to come in, sellers come in strong. You want a really good impulse candle. If it's a doji, that even adds to it more conviction. And if we're able to gap up or gap down, it's even more conviction. So this one right here, this little tiny 160 to 159, buyers came in strong. They were able to gap it up the next day, whatnot. We replay it. Hopefully it won't take this long doing it like this. Replay. Where's my replay? Okay. Let's just see what it does, okay? Okay, I ain't got time. So I said what this I mean, give me a look at it. Kind of look at that doji, you know, was able to come up, came back down. So buyers were obviously accumulating here. Put our, you know, look at that volume node. We came back down to it, and what did we do? Where was a good time to go long on Apple the other day? 2% move. I mean, almost guaranteed. I'm telling you, almost guaranteed with those doji gap up, huge buying candle. Almost guaranteed we're gonna bounce. 2% move. You time that right. I mean, that's a good 100% play. You know, so you know on the daily, you know, if you find those impulse moves, you know, you're gonna be pretty solid. You know, AMD right here. Were we able to pop up on that right there? Barely, but yeah, remember news trumps TA. So when you have bad news, it lessens conviction a little bit. Amazon, I love showing Amazon. You have like right here, we have a drop. Right here, you could tell buyers came in strong here. Came back down, touched it there, continue up. We rallied, we based. Buyers came in super strong here. Gap up, almost a doji. Make that your demand. Look at that beautiful touch here. Continuation. We would have got long there. We'd be all sitting on our yachts right now. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't hold through earnings, so. You know, where did sellers come in here? Right here, sellers came in. We dropped. We based for 3 days. We dropped. So right here, we did wick above. So that's probably where we stopped out, but you kind of keep that on watch. But we did continue down. Right here, big drop. We kind of based here, and then we dropped again. Random pop up on before earnings or on earnings until we dropped again. We actually touched it there. So I don't like to use it. So I kind of put it as a resistance, and not a support or not a supply. But look, beautiful. That was our high. So if you're able to find in stock these huge, like I was doing my one-on-one yesterday, and we were like, just look for these huge where buyers come in, or Google earnings, waiting for this one. Buyers came in, pushed this price up big time. Google gets back down here. I'm definitely looking to go long for sure. Gapped up, pushed up big time, broke structure, made a new higher high right there. Beautiful. You know, Meta has done this multiple times. I'm done charting. I'm just going through supply and demand, guys. They have a drop. You know, look at this huge push up right here. Demand here. Came back down. Buyers came in. But we did create a new demand. Okay. Demand's a little higher. Look at that beautiful bounce right there. So when we hit demand, we usually create new demand. Especially if you base at that demand right here. Pushed up, came down, hit this demand right here. Look at this. Big, strong push up. Then right here, we kind of have this 1, 2, 3, 4 days just completely sideways. Sellers came in very strong, pushed it up again. Where did we bounce? Right here, bounce. I don't know why everyone wants to grab puts for Snap. So Snap has news. You really, it's really tough to, they're smart. They're firing a bunch of people. They're gonna miss guidance, this, and this. But they said next year they're gonna completely restructure their whole company. So that's good news. If their company is such shit, used to be, I think Snap was what, over $100. Snap hit 85. Now they're at 10, and investors are like, oh wait, they're completely restructuring their whole company. And that might be like, oh, that's kind of good, right? To me. That's why they pumped. People don't understand why they pumped. Let's see. There's our last buy. Let's see if we hit this. Did we hit that over? No, we haven't hit that yet. The thing is, I'm watching is these lows. But see, my thing with Snap is like, we're already at 10. Okay, the stock's already beaten down. How much farther can we go? How many Snap hit $9? How many people you think are grabbing long-term shares on Snap at $9? I think a lot. Personally, I'm debating on it. Yeah, I mean, if it goes down to 6, yeah, I cut, lose 30%. If it goes up to right here, before it sold off for earnings, I've doubled. I banked. I've doubled on my shares. And that's just a little bit. We have another huge gap above. So, I mean, that's hard when these stocks get this low price, like Riot and Mara, when they're down on, Riot was like $5 or whatever. Down here, $4. I told people, I'm like, this is the best time to grab long-term shares. Why would you grab a put on Riot and set $4? Told people this is the best time to grab long-term shares. Look at it. Would have over doubled your shares. I mean, bankruptcy could happen, but bankruptcy could be good news, could be bad news. Then you get possibly loans out for your bankruptcy. It could go either way. But my thinking on that, Carter, is your risk to reward is not good going short on Snap. I kind of show this on Shop. Like, Shop's down here. Is your risk to reward better for puts or calls? Don't mind me, Shop used to be 176. Obviously, it was like 17 before, with COVID run up. But is your risk to reward better to grab puts now or calls? I'd go calls. Obviously, look at this pattern. You're back and forth, back and forth. Level. Level. So, like, what's your, for me? Yeah. What does ES mean? I don't think ES means anything. It's just SPY's futures. So it's you have ES, you have you have the S&P 500, you have NASDAQ, you have the Russell 2000, and then you have the Dow, which is your main futures. Like if you ever watch CNBC, those are scrolling by all the time. The Dow, S&P 500, the Nasdaq. Those are your main big daddies. Trades 23 hours a day, 6 days a week. Yeah. Like Peloton. Is Peloton, is this a good time to go long or to go short? Beaten down. Peloton used to be 100 and over. I mean, look when I used to play it up here. It was crazy. $157. Peloton's under $10. Is it now? You think it's a good time to go short? Even on options, what shares are not like your risk to reward. You gotta remember, from $10 to $9, that's 10% decrease. 10% market cap decrease. That's big compared to going from $100 to 95. That's only 5%. But a $5 move in options is pretty big compared to a dollar move in options. But I mean, I'm not saying you can't make money going snap short-term puts, but to me, the risk reward is not there. Not, if I want to go short, I'm going short. This is where I'm going to go short. About 13.22 or 14.14 between these zones. Oh, can't do that. This zone right here is where I would look to go short. For that huge sell off, usually the market likes to bring it back up into this zone and sell it off again. Yeah, E-mini S&P 500. Yes, yep. So I'm not saying, I know I see a few analysts that do have snap short, but to me the risk reward is not there. You tell, I mean, if we break below here, I mean, we got to break below this. I mean, you could sell it open. You could still, Cara, I'm telling you, you could still make money. You can still make money. But my way of trading, there's thousands and thousands of different ways of trading out there. My way of trading, I would not grab a put on Snap. That's my way of trading. I know there's analysts. I know I've seen analysts right now who have puts on Snap. They can make bank. Like I was saying, my one-on-one yesterday, Bed Bath & Beyond. Squeeze the hell out of it. Have fun with it. Y'all can make your 1,000%. I don't care. I'm not watching it. I'm personally not watching it. That's just not how I trade. I don't trade those stocks. Not anymore. I used to have fun with those. Yeah, Amara is the one. But see, Amara is also on 52. See, he's putting emotion into it. Like Amara, 52 wins in a row. I'm telling you. 52 wins in a row. But why is he averaging it down? Why? Because he doesn't want to lose. Yeah, think about it. He's a little selfish on this call. He keeps averaging it down because he doesn't want to have that streak lost. That's what I'm looking at. I'm not trying to diss Amar, but he keeps averaging it down because he doesn't want to lose. He wants to keep his 52 win streak in a row, which honestly, there's no point of even keeping that. Like, who cares? As long as you go green every day. All that matters, guys. Yeah, you're further out, so you're good. I mean, you can tell, look NQ's down 1% overnight. That's big. What's Snap down overnight? Snap's green. So what's that showing you right there? Snap strong. Really strong. So, I mean, Amar's a beast. 52 in a row. I don't think I've ever gotten 52 in a row, but you can tell he's kind of averaging it down based on he doesn't want to lose that streak. But for me, risk to reward is not there for Snap. We could drop, we do have, let's see this buy candle. This is where I would look for buyers to come back in. That was with Meta yesterday. I took that short on Meta because we had this buy candle, kind of the same thing with Snap, and on the lower time frame. You tell that between the 0.5, 0.618 buyers, possibly come back in. That's what they did. Came back in here once, twice, but I could tell the bounces from them coming back in is getting lower and lower. I was like, I even learned below this, we're looking to go down here. You tell once we broke below, we sold off. I saw a little reversal, we sold. So that's what I'm looking at. Snap, possibly buyers come back in at that 1018 to 985. But I don't know if he knows that they're completely restructuring their whole company. Either one less average down, the way Snap should be up. I mean, he's averaging down at 0.09. How many average downs did he do? 3 on a weekly? Nope, not me. Not me at all. That's just not my trading style. So, can you look at Meta for possible puts? So, Meta risk to reward, I'd go calls. But calls right now are tough in this market. Very, very tough in this market because we probably, we're down. We're starting to, we're still selling off. Meta to break this area is going to be tough. Buyers come in. A lot of buying coming in right here. But also something to watch. Buyers are coming in, but we're not getting a bigger bounce. Buyers came in, wonder what this bounce is going to be. We want to get the bounces that get bigger, but they're getting smaller. So it's kind of like a bouncing ball. Eventually, we're going to bounce small and then break through. Meta still up. The reason I also took Meta puts yesterday is they were loading Meta up. 14 million, 11 million. This is next June though. Next June. 916. They load up 14 million one order at 14 million more. So Meta does look like it has some downside. You look at the weekly, the stock looks like it's just ready to fall. It's consolidating weekly, falls. We're at COVID lows. But also, my possible place to grab a put, the yeah. I mean, I think any long-term puts right now are pretty good. I like a recovery day, kind of a rally day, and then but Meta, I mean, there's just so much chop right here we're at. Volume point control in this chop area. You could go either way, but you know, yeah. See, we did bounce from that area. So buyers actually did. You see, buyers came in right here, pushed it up. So the main thing is you could grab puts if you want to grab puts. You know, they already took these buyers, so this is gone. But also look, where's Meta's last week low? Right here. Where's Spy's last week low? I don't think I have it on Spy. Is that 405.25? Okay. Spy's last week lows up here. See, I'll notice how Meta's kind of a little bit stronger. Spy's way below last week's lows. Meta's above last week's lows. So Meta's kind of hanging out. So, you know, the risk and reward on puts, yes, you could go far out. You could average down. But you know, last week's lows down here. Really nice push up. We're still above last week's low. Like Meta should be down here if it followed Spy. Meta down to 130 by end of year. It could happen. I think this sell-off that we're about to have is the best opportunity to grab Apple longs. I'm waiting for it. I'm going to start loading the boat on Apple Leaps, Apple shares. Apple has their event next week, so just waiting. Because we have, you know, look how when Apple's strong, the market's strong. But that's gonna end it for me, guys. Appreciate you guys. Decent talk today. You know, let's just go through. You know, yes, we're kind of holding. Let's see, overnight lows, overnight highs. Kind of holding. Like I said, if we rally up to yesterday's close, possibly look for puts. 4,000. I don't think we're gonna get past 4,000 to the upside for a little bit. Yeah, we can. I'm still looking for a rally. Like we were supposed to have a rally the other day. We really didn't rally at all. NQ, same thing. Watch these lows. I think VIX is going to stay elevated. Definitely watch at open. Watch AMD, Nvidia. I think they're gonna fake it out one way or the other. Let's see if dip buyers come in. Could have a little push. Nvidia had that bad news. Remember that Nvidia had that bad news, and calls was the way to go. Right here, they had the bad news. Remember, dip buyers came in, pushed in. Eventually, it sold off. So keep that on watch. Thursday, first day of the month, possibly some volume coming in at open, but it is September. Be smart, guys. Be smart. Downsize. Don't go full port right now. A lot of things are unknown in September. September is historically one of the worst months. But also historically, April was supposed to be one of the best months, and April was horrible. But be smart. We got midterms coming up.